G'day guys, Chip City here. Hope you're enjoying your Easter weekend or Easter break. Been meaning to do a video in a little while. Got a couple of topics I want to discuss today. First of all, my crypto position. People have been asking me about that. I want to talk about Matty G's position in DogeGF, which is quite a joke considering his position. And then I want to go on and talk about some things that I found quite interesting coming out of the WEF, the World Economic Forum, and the advisors to the World Economic Forum, in particular this sinister looking dude. But we'll get into that in a minute. So we'll start here. So I just wanted to go through this just to make things very clear to people about Matty G's DogeGF history, which is quite contradictory and quite alarmingly stupid, to be frank. And I've read in past comments some of Matty G's minions or bewildered supporters keep telling me how intelligent it is and he knows what he's doing. I call bullshit to that. So Matty G started his position in DogeGF back in September last year, and I purchased some at about a little bit after that period of time. So he got a very big pump early, and then there was obviously a lot of volatility. But anyway, cutting ahead, getting to the point. So on this particular day here, about October 27, 2021, Matty G had approximately $1.5 million US. And it was about that time that I was thinking to myself, and I think I voiced it, why somebody with $1.5 million US who'd been living in a tent 2 years earlier wouldn't liquidate at least a large portion of that, all of it, half of it, whatever of it, wouldn't have mattered, right? It would have been very beneficial to someone who was living in a tent a couple of years earlier. He took nothing of it. He didn't take any profits. Let me repeat that: 1.5 million US dollars. That's nearly 2 million Australian dollars where I live in Aussie dollars. And he did nothing. But I was told, no, he knows what he's doing. He's a very smart and intelligent man. Well, is he? Is he? Okay, so let's fast forward to this date here, where he liquidated the majority of his portfolio, which if he had have liquidated that same amount of DogeGF back in October 2021, he would have made well over $1.2 million, and now he's liquidated almost his entire portfolio for a mere $332,000. So what do you think was the smarter move? Liquidate your position for $332,000 or $1.2 million, which would have been about maybe even more. He might have even been about $1.3 million if he had have liquidated that same amount, which is a substantial amount of his portfolio at that point. And you can see he dropped down to here. And then just a little bit later on, a month or so later, maybe a couple of months later, he liquidated the final point, his last portion, which was, I think after he did this big liquidation here, jumped out. I think he sold off about nearly 300,000, or a little bit, about $290,000 he took from there. Sorry if I said three. He liquidated the majority of his portfolio there, and he took about 290,000, leaving him about 40,000 at that point there. And then he knocked over that last little bit. It dropped even further, and then he sold off that last 40 trillion, I should say. It was 290 trillion here. He sold off that last 41 trillion here, and now he's got nothing. Zero. Nothing. No DogeGF position at all. Sold it significantly lower than he could have back here at 1.498, 1.5 million US. Sold it here. And then when he only had 332, which he sold about 3/4 of his bag, and he sold the last quarter of his bag there. Now he's got nothing. Now this is coming from a bloke who's supposed to be intelligent. Yeah, great. Now, and of course, all the way along here, he's telling us DogeGF this, DogeGF that, and he's going to hold on to his position. He's not going to sell any coins because he's loyal to his supporters, and he's got to hold on to his bags. And he can't sell off. He sold off here and he sold off there, and now he's got none. Right. So anyway, as opposed to me, who's just held his position. Now, actually, I bought 3 dips here. Now my portfolio is down substantially from where it was here when it was worth $51,000 US. But listen, I'm not here for $51,000. I'm not. I'm here for a significantly amount more. To me, $51,000 or $5,000, which we've got here, it's no difference to me. I mean, I'm not saying I'm a millionaire, but I'm holding, right? So DogeGF is my only meme coin. I think it's still got a lot of use case. I know it's still got its use case. Nothing has changed. The only thing that's changed is Matty G's pissed off and all the hype around Matty G's gone. But as far as I'm concerned, the fundamentals of the coin and the technicalities of the coin are still there. Nothing changes for me. And this is exactly when the sheep will disappear. Like, oh, poor Chip. Chip, should I disappear? Should I sell off? What should I do? It's looking really bad. So what most people will do when it's going bad is they'll sell off and sell at a loss. But that's not me. I've just forgotten about it. I just ignore the charts, don't give a shit about them. I've got my bag. I'm not in any hurry to sell. I'll sell it when it's worth $1 million or 2 or 3. I don't know. When the price suits me. But the price at 5,000 doesn't suit me. It didn't suit me when it was at 51,000. Didn't suit me. So I bought some more. And now, as you can see, I currently hold 12 trillion DogeGF. But I don't really know. I mean, I look at their website and the technicalities and their roadmap. It looks fine. I think they're okay. But yeah, I'm not prepared to invest anymore. What I'm doing, and will have continued to do through the entire time, is accumulate more of the blue chip cryptos, utility cryptos such as XRP, my major holding, which I've got a significant amount of in most people's terms, and XLM and XDC. I've got a whole host of other coins, but XRP, XLM, XDC, they're my 3 major holdings. Coins like DogeGF, that's just a bit of fun, and it's just a bit of a gamble on a meme coin. So back to Matty G. What's he got right now? Nothing, basically. $1,000 worth, basically nothing. If he comes on and does a YouTube video about DogeGF, you've got to ask him, well, if it's so fucking good, why did you sell it? Why are you only holding basically nothing? 2 trillion, nothing, right? Sold it all, basically. Sold it all. Anyway, that's enough about DogeGF there, but my position would be right now you'd be accumulating XRP, XLM, XDC. Any of the ISO 222 coins I think are going to be good medium to long term holdings, with of course 2 major events I see coming on the horizon for XRP. One is the first of all the settlement with the SEC. That is imminent. That has to happen at some stage. Most likely is going to be this year. So with the settlement, there's going to be a massive pump with XRP. I'm going to say maybe a 10x, 20x, God knows. And the other major event for XRP will be a relisting on Coinbase and the US exchanges, the major exchanges. There's another massive event. Those 2 events are probably going to happen concurrently, but they will have a significant impact on the price, and the FOMO will be incredible, and it could get out of control. Who knows? And at that time, who knows what else they might announce. They have a tendency to sort of time things, so we'll see. But I'll move away from crypto now, and I just want to talk a little bit about this. This chap here, I was going to call him a gentleman, but I don't know if you'd call this prick a gentleman. To me, he's pure evil. But this Yuval Noah Harari is the lead advisor to Klaus Schwab. Read it there. He's the lead advisor to Klaus Schwab. Klaus Schwab, of course, is the president of the WEF, and they have a massive, obviously a massive position in global policy and the way the world is progressing. And we're massively behind, in my opinion, than what we've experienced over the last 2 years. All of the globalists are behind it. They're rolling out their agenda right under our eyes, and while they keep the sheep distracted with masks and COVID and vaccines and God knows what else, in the background they're resetting the monopoly board. So let's have a listen to what this piece of shit has to say.
The biggest question maybe in economics and politics of the coming decades will be what to do with all these useless people.
People could...
So just absorb that for a minute. The biggest question, not the second biggest, not the third, in his mind, he advises Klaus Schwab. He's one of the head advisors, if not the head advisor. The biggest question is, what are they going to do with the useless eaters? Right? What are they going to do with the useless eaters? Well, what do you think they're going to do with the useless eaters? Huh? So let's move on to this tab here. I've got a couple of clips here I want to play. Here's our Maxwell Smart villain. You can't make this stuff up.
The difference of this fourth industrial revolution is it doesn't change what you are doing. It changes you. If you take genetic editing, right. Just as an example, it's you who are changed. Yeah. And of course, this has a big impact on your identity.
So he says we're going to change you genetically. We're going to change you genetically, physically change your biology. I wonder how they'd be able to do that. I guess they'd have to put something inside your body. Oh well. Try this one here. Back to our advisor, Yuval Noah Harari.
And again, I think that the biggest question maybe in economics and politics of the coming decades will be what to do with all these useless people.
I think the big process that's happening right now in the world is hacking human beings, the ability to hack humans, to understand deeply what's happening within you, what makes you go. And for that, the most important data is not what you read and who you meet and what you buy, it's what's happening inside your body.
But the World Economic...
So they want to hack human beings, they want to change you genetically, they want to get inside your body somehow, they want to merge technology with biology, and they want to get inside you. They want to tap into your biology to create data from you and basically track, trace, and control you. And at worst, maybe, who knows, at worst, what they're up to. Let's have a check this next tab out here. Here's our friend again.
These two big revolutions, the computer science revolution, or the infotech revolution, and the revolution in the biological sciences. And they are still separate, but they are about to merge. They are merging around, I would say, the biometric sensor. It's the thing, it's the gadget, it's the technology that converts biological data into digital data that can be analyzed by computers. And having the ability to really...
Again, they're going to merge technology with biology. He's making it very clear. They're not hiding it. Here it is here, COVID-19, the Great Reset. Right, they're using this as a mechanism. Well, they created it. Well, they didn't really create anything. There's nothing out there, but they're using this as a distraction to get through their agendas, and they're rolling them out quick, smart. They're not mucking around. So let's have a look there. Again, they're combining, merging technology with biology. And they're going to track, trace, and control just about every element of your life. That's what's coming. Let's have a look here.
The problem is more boredom and what to do with them, and how will they find some sense of meaning in life when they are basically meaningless, worthless. My best guess at present is a combination of drugs and computer games as a solution for more. It's already happening.
Unbelievable. I'm going to play that one more time.
The problem is more boredom and what to do with them, and how will they find some sense of meaning in life when they are basically meaningless, worthless. My best guess at present is a combination of drugs and computer games as a solution for more. It's already happening.
People could look back in 100 years and identify the...
So what he's basically saying there, I've actually lost my spot, but what he's actually saying there is, it's alarming. I mean, it's absolutely alarming. What he's saying there is, what are they going to do with the useless eaters? How are they going to have meaning in their life? How are they going to fulfill themselves? And he's basically saying, well, they're going to use screens. They're going to use gaming, alcohol, drugs, pornography. These are the sorts of things that are going to... The virtual world. The metaverse. This is how they see us fulfilling our lives, because we won't have an organic life. We won't have a tangible life. We'll have a virtual life. That's what they envisage, and that's what will keep the general populace distracted. they'll be jerking off to their virtual realities and taking drugs and alcohol and staying on their screens. I mean, to be frank, there is way too much of that in society going on. It's horrific to see young children glued to screens and occupied with their iPads and iPhones all day. It is concerning to a man like me who's always been active, and I create things, physically, and like to get into the workshop and build things. That's my nature. But I won't go too much into my personal stuff. But the last thing that I would do is be playing on an iPad or scrolling through comments. Occasionally I might do that just for a bit of fun, make a video like this, but just to try and help get the message out. But as for an ongoing thing, no, I think it's a real problem. And look, I'm not actually disagreeing with what he says. That is what most people do occupy themselves, and will occupy themselves even more in the future, to fulfill what is apparently going to become a meaningless existence. And it's quite scary that's how they see us, as being useless and meaningless. And you could pretty much understand their position, why they are all eugenicists, wanting to thin the population of useless eaters. It's pretty scary when you think about it. Anyway, I picked up this grab from a lot of these clips from High Impact Flicks. So check out his channel. I don't mind him. I think he's pretty good. I don't get into all of his stuff, but a lot of his ads piss me off. But his content's pretty good, and this is a good presentation. Basically, after he's done his ads, he just lets it run, and I would encourage people to go take a look at it. But anyway. That's what they got planned for us. It's not, to be frank, it's not looking good. I mean, you just put your head down and get on with your life, but you should be preparing yourself. Well, I'm not giving you any advice, but yeah, I'm certainly preparing myself. Got a good quantity of gold and silver stacked, large portfolio of cryptocurrencies. Trying to minimize my debts, get everything in order, because when they have this minimal amount of fiat in the bank, or just enough to keep the wheels turning, and just trickle it over to your bank account as you need to buy food, pay rent or mortgage or whatever you've got, car bills, whatever. But those holding significant amounts of fiat in the bank, they might get a rude awakening if there's a run on banks, or if they reset the system, and then while you left that, because the banks can have what's called a bail-in. Well, they'll just confiscate what you think is your money, but it's actually theirs. Anyway, I digress. Have a good one. Cheers.